I wanted to discuss ammunition for those outside the Christian religion. One of the things I've noticed about a lot of people that have never had any affiliation with Christianity is that they lack the ammunition to often refute what Christian people say. And I'm not speaking in the terms of science and things like that, because obviously there is science, but when you're talking with someone who bases their whole life on a faith-based system, science just isn't going to cut it. I mean, you can try and argue and even point out, for instance, that the same science that they refute is the science that carbon dated the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, I mean, you know, and they'll find a way around that, like saying, well, God confounded, you know, the people by, you know, allowing that to happen, and this and that. And so what you have to then do is something that is probably going to be the most difficult thing for most people outside of Christianity to do. And I would say even for someone like myself that was indoctrinated in that particular belief system, at times I can get very frustrated with dealing with Christians and issues of Christianity, because they themselves don't always follow the practices that they want other people to follow. So here's my suggestion. Take it or leave it, but I have found that this is probably the most effective way in dealing with someone who is not going to accept things in rational terms, and that is this. This is Bible, okay? I happen to have what is termed as the Disciples Study Bible, New International Version, Doctrine, Life, something. It's like kind of worn down. I actually do read this and have read it. Having been indoctrinated in it, I already know a lot. But for those of you who don't know, there is a handy tool in the back of it. It's called a concordance. And what that is they give you words. It's somewhat like a glossary of terms, only it directs you to particular places in the Bible that pertain to these words. For instance, you take something like where Christians accuse atheists of persecuting them, but there, if you go and look up the words for persecute and persecuted, persecution, things like that, you will find scripture in the Bible that tells the Christian that they will be persecuted, and it also tells them to accept that persecution as a part of their life, and to not condemn those who do. And I'm not going to sit here and read all the scriptures out to you, but basically what I wanted to offer was a suggestion of one of the most effective ways in dealing with Christianity is to refute what they're saying by using their own doctrine and belief system against them. And of course sometimes that doesn't work either, because they'll backpedal and use round and round verbiage and reasons why. They'll say, well, you know, I enjoy debating, and really it's not about debating, it's about proselytizing. And that's part of their scripture too, is that they have a command where they have to go out and preach the gospel. likewise, they also have a command that says, you know, if someone doesn't accept what you're saying, shake the dust off your feet and go to the next town. And so when you're dealing with someone who is a Christian, it is probably the most effective way in confronting them with whether they are following through on what they actually believe or not. They may say, well, and I've had people do this of, well, you know, your behavior is this, you're not doing this, you're acting this way, you're judging me. And I'm like, well, here's the thing, I'm not a Christian, so therefore I don't have to live by the same precepts that you do. It's not me, you know, there is no Bible for someone outside the church that says, you know, those who are outside the church should not judge. In fact, it clearly states in the words of Christ that, you know, they should judge not lest they be judged. Therefore, the whole of the Bible is not a book for people who don't believe. It's a book for people who do believe. It's a set of standards and rules with which they're supposed to live by. So I don't know that every atheist or person who is outside of Christianity will take my advice, but believe me, it's probably one of the most effective tools to use when being confronted by Christians. And yeah, you know, I know you don't want to sit there and have to read this stuff, but take it as it is. Take it like any book, and look at the material. You don't necessarily have to agree with the material. You don't have to believe the material. But it certainly is effective in thwarting off the things that they will try to angle toward you that aren't meant for you. It's meant for them. So I hope this is helpful. Thanks.